Jamal Khashoggi was a prominent journalist who covered major stories, including the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and the rise of Osama bin Laden for various Saudi news organizations. But he fell out of favor and went into self-imposed exile in the United States last year, where he wrote in the Washington Post criticizing the policies of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Jamal was entering the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul, Turkey on October 2nd, but was pronounced dead on Friday. Saudi Arabia has admitted to participating in the murder of Jamal Khashoggi after denying any connections to his death. However, audio and video evidence has been found that show Khashoggi being killed by a team of Saudi agents inside the consulate.
Hi, this is Hannah Zhao from CBS Breaking News, and I'll be interviewing a few criminal theorists who will talk about possible reasonings behind the Saudi hit squad that has been found to be responsible for Khashoggi's death. Here we have Mr. Clark, who is behind the rational choice theory. Mr. Clark and his partner, Mr. Cornish, believe that criminals weigh the perceived cost of violating the law against the benefits. He also states that criminals are not senseless, but they make rushed decisions, seek short-term instead of long-term gain, and lack all the information needed for rational choice. Mr. Clark, what do you think caused the Saudi Arabia hit squad to act the way they did?
Thank you for having me today, Hannah. In the case of Khashoggi's murder, the men involved in the hit squad are said to be Saudi officials and intelligence officers. These men probably performed criminal acts because they thought protecting themselves against the possible confidential information that Khashoggi had on them would have less severe consequences than being accused for his murder. They most likely acted out of fear that Khashoggi would leak information and made the rushed decision to kill him so that they would not have anything to worry about. Therefore, it was the rational choice for them.
Now we have Mr. Cohen, who's representing him and his partner, Mr. Felsen, who are behind the routine activities theory. They believe that three factors create high likelihood of crime: motivated offenders, suitable targets, and absence of capable guardians. What do you think caused such criminal behaviors to rise?
Well, I believe that the Saudi hit squad murdered Khashoggi because of the reasons you just stated. Khashoggi was likely a suitable target as he was seen entering the consulate alone, which made him easy to corner. Furthermore, the Saudi hit squad was probably motivated to murder Khashoggi because he contained valuable information on the Saudi Arabian government. Lastly, the hit squad was probably unaware of the video camera monitoring and thought that there was no police or security there to make accusations against them.
Next, we have a few criminologists who study macro theories. First, we're interviewing Shah, who is behind the theory of social disorganization. He believes that certain neighborhoods have more crime than others and that these neighborhoods have common problems, such of which include physical dilapidation, poverty, transient populations, high unemployment, low home ownership, and high concentration of immigrants. How would your theory explain the actions committed by the Saudi hit squad?
Well, Khashoggi's murder took place in Saudi Arabia, which is known to be unsafe due to terrorist attacks. In other words, the Saudi agents probably acted the way they did because it was typical for violence to occur in the neighborhoods they grew up in. Common problems that breed crime in Saudi Arabia include poverty, high unemployment, conflict within religion, all of which likely had an impact on the criminal behavior displayed by the Saudi agents and intelligence officers.
Now we have Mr. Quinney, who explains crime based on social reality. Mr. Quinney believes that the state works to serve the interests of the capitalist ruling class, and that criminal behavior occurs in a society that favors powerful over the weak. Mr. Quinney, how do you think your theory of crime applies to this case?
While looking into Jamal Khashoggi's case, he strongly critiqued the Saudi government and was not hesitant in writing articles about why he opposed them. That being said, it is clear that the interests of the ruling class could be a motive for the killing. This can serve as a public announcement that disrespecting and shaming the Saudi government puts a target on your back and can eventually end up being the reason for your death. By killing Khashoggi in the eyes of the Saudi government, this could be how they preserve a sense of order and just demonstrate their power. In the end, although they have admitted to having involvement in the death, one of the only economic punishments they have faced is from the United States, in which they have limited their sale of arms, and the United States is normally their biggest arms dealer. Also, it is interesting that Saudi Arabia waited weeks to finally admit their involvement, and this was only after the Turkish government obtained evidence that he never actually left the consulate, therefore admitting it was only a means of maintaining social order amongst other countries. That is why they admitted to it.
Oh.
Moving to criminologists who specialize in mesotheories, we have Mr. Thornberry with us, who bases his perception of crime off of the idea that human behavior occurs in social interaction, therefore concluding that criminal behavior is formed by relationships with other people and social institutions over time. That being said, Mr. Thornberry, do you believe your interactional theory is present in the death of Khashoggi?
If we were to look at the individuals that make up the hit squad, they have to handle the psychological effects of carrying out their missions. For the members of the hit squad, they have to be okay with killing another individual, which is not something that comes naturally to humans. It is a concept that is taught and a mindset that has to be emotionless. That being said, the hit squad might have gone rogue and beyond their scope of authority, but this behavior most likely stemmed from being conditioned to behaving this way, overall presenting the idea that this mentality of criminal behavior was bred through interaction.
Next, we're pleased to have Mr. Sutherland with us. His theory outlines the idea that individuals learn deviant behavior from those close to them who provide models of and opportunities for deviance. Deviance is less of a personal choice and more of a result of differential socialization processes. A similar theory to that of Mr. Thornberry. Mr. Sutherland, do you believe your theory applies to the killing of Khashoggi?
Well, there's obviously deviant behavior in this case. This deviant behavior comes from being exposed to individuals performing in this manner previously. There have definitely been instances where government officials have secretly ordered the execution of an individual who has posed them a threat. It just happens that the Saudi officials in this case could potentially have been caught, but the act is no different nonetheless. However, if this mission truly was rogue, the agents engaging in this mission might not have seen this as deviant behavior because it is as their job normally is. Being in their line of work, it gives them multiple opportunities to engage in what is considered deviant behavior.